What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to dive into a Benzinga layout and how I find news so quickly whenever a stock starts to hit our scanners and get us some volume. And you can actually find, sometimes you can find the news before it starts getting that volume as well, and kind of prepare yourself for if the volume arrives later. So if you're looking for stocks with news, Benzinga Pro has you covered. I've got a whole layout here that's just specific on finding news. It's called filtered news here at the top. And you can add this little plus sign here to add another layout, which we'll do in a second. Just taking a quick look at this, I've got three different layouts. I've got a news layout here, news layout here, and news layout here. The difference between each one of these is going to be the filters that I have set for each one of them. So I'm using the scanner filters to really filter out some of those results so I don't get too many results on this list, because I don't want to see everything that hits the news feed. I want to make sure that I'm looking for news that's going to be specific to the stocks that I'm trading. And so I like to trade low float stocks. So typically I'm going to have a float filter on there. I like to trade stocks with volume, stocks that are gapping up. So I'll show you how you can build this layout here really simply, just by adding a few filters. That's going to narrow down your results. Now, it's not the perfect layout. Of course, you can manipulate the filters to really fit your strategy. But that's the point of Benzinga. That's what's so great about this. You can really filter out the noise, filter out thousands and thousands of stocks, and look for news, yes, but news that has a few stipulations to it. That way we're not just taking every article or every headline that hits the news wire, right? We want to make sure we're specific, again, to the strategy that we're trading. So guys, let's break down this layout. So filter news, filter news, filter news. Let's add a new layout to the news feed here, or to the workspace, excuse me. News feed, I'll add this and create the workspace. So I'm just going to add that one. We do have the scanner movers. Yes, I do use these at times. I've got another layout that I like to use as well. But when I'm looking for news, typically this is the one I'm looking at. So anytime at 7 a.m., 7:30, 8 o'clock. So half and whole for the times as well, right? We say that about trading, but it's the same for looking for news. Typically they're releasing news articles around those half and whole hour times. So create the workspace, just going to click this on. You can see it's checked here, create the workspace. And automatically it's just going to give me a list of stocks that have news. You're going to see that the date is today, the 6th. You're going to see that these are going to be in order of the time that they came out. So 8:01 p.m., 8 o'clock, 7:57. This is when I'm taping this episode. But we can see that we have the sources, two sources. We don't have any filters on the scanner, no filters on the watch list, and you can add filters. And that's the whole point of this, right? We're going to build this according to our strategy. So again, for me, being a low float momentum type of trader, I'll show you a few of the filters I like to set on mine. So first, I'm going to go into the sources, and I want to add a couple sources here. So I'm okay with seeing some partner links. I'd like to see some articles or headlines from partner links as well. And the SEC, I'm going to add that as well. So in case we see any form filings, like offerings or maybe a passive 13G, a private stake in the company, something like that, I want to see the SEC forms as well. So if you want to see those and catch those fast, you can do that, hit done. You're going to see a few of these popped up on here. We're getting a form 4 right there. That's from the SEC. So we can click on this, open it up, look at that news, which is great, and really decide whether this news is something that I'm looking to trade or not, and very quickly. But what's more important, again, is we're going to add some filters here. The filters are going to narrow down these results. So right now we're just getting, MBRX is a $2.50 stock. Not bad, right? Roblox, $52. So maybe we can put a price filter on here as well. $350 there, $678, $575, right? So maybe I'm looking to trade stocks between $1 and $10, just for an example. Well, maybe I want to set a filter for that. So you can do that hitting the scanner right here. Once you hit the scanner, this will pop up on the left. You can actually search for whatever you're looking for. So if you don't see it on this sidebar here, you can always search for what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and look for price. So type in price, and we can see we have a number of options here. The ask price, bid price. So if you want to put those as well, you can do that. But let's go ahead and go to the price itself. We'll keep it simple. I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to set mine from, let's say I want to see stocks that are 20 cents all the way up to, say, $15, right? So $15 for this example. Hit done. Okay. And now we can see that we've eliminated a few of the results on this list. This list is now getting a little slimmer before we start to see some of these results. So the price is one of the filters that we have. You can see now it's highlighted, letting us know that we are limited by the price, or we're scanning this by price as well. So go back into the scanner, click the scanner tab, and we can see that we have the price filter up here. Right now it shows a little wonky, doesn't it? But if you hit custom, you'll see, okay, the custom is there, so we don't have to mess with that. We'll leave that alone. Okay, great. Another filter I like to have on is the float size. Now, the share float size from Benzinga sometimes can vary, and so I like to give it a little wiggle room. I like to verify the float with other sources as well. I don't always just trust one source. I like to cross-compare that with other sources as well. So share float size, that's important to me. But again, I like to see stocks that are low float, so maybe I want to see this up to, let's say, 150 million. So we'll put 150M and turn my caps off. There we go. Hit done, and again, we're now minimizing the results. We're reducing some of the results that we're seeing here, and it's going to really focus more on our strategy. So again, low float stocks. Let's go back to the scanner. We've got low float stocks with a share float under 150 million, I believe we set, and we can actually lower this. So let's say we go to 50 million, right? 50M, and let's see if we make any adjustments there. So 50M, now we're seeing a lot of MBRX news right here, so something to take a look at maybe. This one is showing a low flow stock with some Form 4s, so SEC form filings here. Maybe there's maybe they're buying or selling. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like this is to buy, right? So open to buy, I believe, at 245. But you can look into this and read each one of these form filings and see basically how many shares they've bought, how many shares they've sold. You can go deeper into those form filings if you choose to. You can do that. You see another one here. So that's going to narrow it down. Let's go back to the scanner again. Let's go to, let's take a look at the side here. And let's go to change. Let's type in CHG because I believe it's going to be like that. Change 1 minute. Okay, change from previous close. That's going to be important to me. So I'm looking for stocks that are gapping up. So I'm going to go to custom, and it has to be up a minimum of 1%. So hit OK, hit done, and there we go. We're now, again, narrowing down those results. So you guys can see how I'm doing this, right? Just stacking filter on top of filter on top of filter, and then it's going to narrow down our results. Now, what I will say, guys, is once you start to stack on too many or so many filters, then what happens is you get very little results. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the benefit of Benzinga. You can have one that's going to be very narrowed down for results. You can have one that's a little bit different, and that's the whole point of having these multiple news feeds set up for yourself. That way you can get those type of alerts. So maybe this feed is showing, you know, one type of stock. Maybe it's a share float that's, you know, up to 25 million share float. Maybe this is going to be greater than 25 million share float, right? You can really play around with those filters, customize these news feeds, and have your news feed that's going to be specific, again, for the strategy that you're trading, which is really important, guys. So again, back over to this news feed that we're working on, three scanners, three filters on the scanner, and you can see we already are you know, narrowing down the results. Go back into this, and let's go one step farther. Let's go for volume, right? Let's say that we want to see volume. So you have a pre-market volume filter, which is great. So you can click that on, and you can say, okay, if you're trading in the pre-market, you can say custom here. You want to see a minimum of, say, I don't know, say 10,000 shares, right? 10,000 shares, and hit OK. And then hit done. And all of a sudden you can see that MBRX, I believe was the name, is now off of this list. And that's because it didn't have that volume in the pre-market session. And that's why it's removed from this list. So again, stacking on those filters can sometimes eliminate some of those results that you'd like to see. So play around with this, guys. You know, add filters, subtract filters, save these scans, you know, build multiple. If you come into the top here, you can just click on this, add a news feed. And there's another news feed. You can come in here, add another news feed. I'm not sure how many Benzinga will allow you to have, but I think it's quite a few. So there's 4 right here. I think that's more than enough, but let's see if we can keep adding them. Look at this. We can have, I guess, as many as you want. I'm not sure if there's a limit here or what, but as you can see, you can have many news feeds on here. You can size them up however you prefer. You can have this maybe a large cap, you know, news feed. This is going to be a low float news feed. This is going to, right? That's the point of this, guys. Benzinga is great in the sense of if you're looking for news, you're looking for news fast, you're looking for the information that's moving that stock and why that stock is moving. Here's your answer, right? Break it down with the filters that you have. Go into each one of these, add the scanner filters, and maybe mark down what you have for each one. So that way, if you have this many news feed filters on here, you don't want to get a little mixed up and have one, giving the same results as the other. So in order to have different results, you have to have different filters, right? So build one at a time, then build your next one, your next one, your next one, right? And then you can really just start to backtest from there. You can save your loadout and you can say, you know what, after a while, I've noticed that this newsfeed here is kind of useless. I'm going to get rid of it, just exit it out, and it's gone. Just like that, right? And you just save your layout. And every time you come into Benzinga Pro, you can load this workspace up, and guess what? You are finding news fast. So you're going to be that guy who's alerting and saying, guys, everyone's wondering, man, this stock's moving, it's hitting here. I don't know what's going on. Well, guess what? You can now provide that information for them. You can share that information with your community, with your traders, where you can then, have that edge. You're not trading blind and not knowing what you're trading and why you're trading it. Now you know that you're trading it because it has high volume. It's got high volatility. That's what we're looking for if you're a momentum trader like myself. And also, why is it moving? It's got news, right? You can pair that with it, add to your conviction of trading that stock. And that's really a recipe for success. So use Benzinga Pro in this sense, guys. It's an amazing tool for the sense of finding news fast. I think it's really great for that. You can find, earnings reports. You can find SEC filings. You can find, offerings, anything real fast. And you can find it in real time. And you can add more filters than I have here. Of course, this is just a really, quick and easy example. I don't want to make this video too long. But, guys, if you have any questions about Benzinga Pro's layout, about building a scanner layout or movers or whatever, just mention it in the comments. And I'd be happy to make a video about it. So, guys, if you found any value in today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.